Hello, everybody. Global warming skeptic here to post-cover the second presidential debate. And sadly, I did not prepare like I did last time with my prerequisites, my what I'd like to see from the candidates list, as I did the first one. But you can blame football for that, so that's that. First of all, let me just get a couple things out of the way first. Disclaimers: I am a Trump supporter. Yes, I am a conservative slash libertarian. So, if you see bias in this video, then well, I'm not hiding anything from you. So, it is what it is. But from that perspective, who do I think won? I think that first of all, let me just explain. I didn't think there was much substance in the debate or any of these debates, and I think that continues to be problematic. But in saying that, I think within the framework, Donald Trump, when it comes to what needed to happen in this debate, Donald Trump did absolutely what he had to do, and he won this debate by a mile. The reason why I say that is it's because the past couple days have been just merciless to both of them. You had the Trump tapes thing come out. You had and then you had the WikiLeaks emails, which just decimated her credibility, talking about private and public policy positions. That, if nothing else, is going to hurt her. But she also talked about NAFTA open borders, which were not brought up for some strange reason tonight. But that was talked about. And I just, if you listen to Hillary Clinton's attacks, and let's just be objective here, even if you're never Trump for Hillary, whatever. If you listen to Hillary Clinton's attacks, they're powerful attacks, but they're attacks that have been kind of repeated. Yeah, you have the Trump tape stuff, but I mean, what does that confirm? That just, for those who believe that that makes him sexist, then he's more of a sexist. And, you know, that whole thing could have cost him only a handful of supporters. It wasn't going to have an impact. But the attacks against Hillary are damning because if you look at the way she's running her campaign, it is on a campaign of togetherness because her whole slogan is stronger together, right? And so when she's talking about public and private policy positions and just speaking to Goldman Sachs in general, it's going to be a negative point on her. And that's just reality. That's going to hit her negatively. And the fact that people actually got to see those things is awful. And as far as Trump's criticism, I think he did splendidly with that. He completely brushed off the attack, as he had to do. He brushed it off and he went on the offensive. And that's something he did not do on the first debate. He would stand there like a defendant and defend himself in the first debate. He didn't do that this time. And if you notice too his body language, you watch it, every time he'd say something, notice he pointed at her. If you watch a trial, if you watch, I especially seen it at the George Zimmerman trial, but I also seen it at other random trials that I've watched. I can't remember the guy's name, but I've seen it in trials. Like when you have a prosecutor trying to accuse a defendant, they will point to the defendant when they're making an accusation, and that is that this person is guilty. And you notice every time Trump accused Hillary of something, he'd look at her and he'd point. And watch a trial, and you'll see very similar, if not exact, hand motions with that. It's a little minor thing, but it's important because it signifies to a jury, an audience, anybody watching that this person must defend themselves because they're the accused, and they need to answer for things. And that was important. Um, and but it's like I said, yeah, I think Trump did what he needed to do, but the more broad question is, did he get votes that he's going to need to get? And the answer is, I'm not sure. Particularly with the average debate watcher, I'm just I'm just not sure, because this is just a weird election with a lot of different things. And even if you look at the pollsters on, for example, Real Clear Politics, then you'll see that the polls vary widely, and most of them are in her favor. So he's got to win over some of those votes. And in an accusations-based election, I've I've predicted this wrong before, but I think he could have picked up a few. I don't know about many, but I think a few. And it's it's going to be an uphill battle for him. It's just going to depend on minorities and women, because these are the two key things that Trump needs to improve on. Minorities, because he's actually strong with minorities, and I think he could be stronger. He's polling at levels that Republicans haven't polled in a long time with minorities. I believe the U.S. LA Times USC poll has him 20 to 30% with minorities, and he's winning with independents too. But where he's losing horribly is with women, and that's the one place Hillary seems to be hitting the right buttons. And just as a non-feminine male, I can't predict how any of that's gonna go. I Because I don't know. I mean, she referenced Trump's children, and that's gonna hit well with women. Um, like probably moral issues, I'd guess, would hit with suburban soccer mom, women with children types. Those moral issues, the little bit of rough around the edges talking, that's. But he already didn't have those. So did he win over any women? And that's a tough question. And I'm trying to think of that on the spot. And I think something like that could lose with women. The whole Trump tapes thing. But then again, Hillary Clinton's corruption. I think talking about the corruption would probably hit with men better, corruption with Wall Street, and on that. No, I'm not being psych. I'm trying to be demographic here. Like, what issues are going to appeal to what people? And I think the corruption going on the attack is going to hit with men, and I don't think it's going to hurt him with women, but I think the moral stuff's going to hurt him. But it's hard to tell. And I'm trying to do all this on the fly because I haven't had time to do any kind of preparation. But I guess here's my bottom line to stop your suffering from listening to me ramble on and on. Bottom line is that Trump did what he needed to do. He saved face. He played phenomenal defense. He stopped the bleeding. And he may or may not have earned voters, but I don't think he lost voters. And I think he may have won back some of the ones he lost. So Looking at it realistically, I'd say it's a wash, and it's going to depend a lot on the third debate. But since Hillary's starting off with an advantage, it could be we don't even know because it's like I said, yeah, the average polling has her up, but if you have an aggregate with a high standard deviation, it means nothing because it just means everybody disagrees, and here's the average of the extreme disagreements. And there are a lot of extreme disagreements. There's polls that have Trump up 5, there's polls that have Hillary up 7 or 8. And it's just going to depend on which of those is right. Anyhow, I'll be back for the next debate, and I will be a little bit more prepared beforehand so I can define a clear winner, and I will also try to define a clear winner of the debates in general. And thanks for listening, guys. God bless.